What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders. Today brought to you on the Russell Street Report, courtesy of DNL Tinting. Go check out dltinting.com for all your window tinting, car detailing, and headlight restoration needs. Located in the metro Baltimore area. Go check them out for all of those services that they provide. And today we are going to be checking out how the Baltimore Ravens contain Nick Bosa. Absolute game breaker. Averages 6 pressures a game, had 85 through 14 games going into this one. Came out of this one with only 3 pressures. All 3 were hurries. Didn't even get a hit on Lamar Jackson. So we're going to take a look at exactly how they did that, a number of ways that they did it. I think it was a combination of a couple of things. It wasn't just, scheme, but obviously we're going to take a look at how the scheme played a role, but also just the offensive tackles stepping up, making big plays. Even a guy like Daniel Falele, who played some limited snaps, but when he did, saw Bosa. They looked to put Bosa against Falele, and he still did a phenomenal job against him. So a lot of individual efforts. Don't want to take that away. But just looking at the combination of the types of protections they used, the running back chips, tight end chips, double teams with the offensive line. They used a variety of different mechanisms. It was just a great game plan from Todd Monken to completely take him out of this game. If you guys are looking forward to this breakdown, if you're fired up about the Ravens win, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. Let's jump into it. So on this first clip, my sincere apologies because I am apparently terrible at clipping because I started mid-play. So it doesn't show the pre-snap. I'll just pause here for a second. Essentially what you got here, because you see an absolute bunch right here. We have a 5-on-2 with Likely then coming out into a pattern. But essentially what happened on this play is they slide protected to the side of Bosa, and they kept Ricard in. So they were just using, this was early in the game, but they're just basically using a slide protection and a double team with Likely being a chip man. So this was just a very heavy protection against him. You also have Gus Edwards on this side who's chipping on, I believe that's Randy Gregory, on Stanley. So this is one of those things that we looked at it last week because early in this game, and this was in the first quarter, it felt like no one was getting open. The ball was being held. But this is a good example of what can happen, right? Because we have 3 of our non-offensive linemen in protection at this point, which means there's only 2 guys out running a route. So obviously this was this play right here where, Lamar obviously tried to throw this back shoulder because he saw the safety coming downhill. I don't think this was necessarily a bad throw. I think I did say during the game it was a bad throw, but he sees this safety coming down and they're able to use maximum numbers in coverage because there was only 2 receivers. So, but that's kind of what they did early in this game. They just got multiple offensive linemen. As Bosa came outside, he was protecting and containing against the scramble. You see Moses and Ricard, they're kind of shadowing against him. So just one of the ways that they did it was sending max numbers at him, doing that in a number of plays. In the run game, they really tripped him up because they used, obviously, at times they were using tray blocks against him where you had the tight end and the tackle double teaming him. But on this touchdown here, they're in that heavy diamond set. They brought in Ben Cleveland here as a 6 offensive lineman. You got the tight end on this side, and obviously Likely and Ricard in the backfield with Edwards. And so Bosa's right here over the tight end, and they're actually going to leave him unblocked. So Ricard is going to release on the arc release, and this is where you'd expect to see Ricard take Bosa and Likely come across for the cross block here. Down blocks from that side, Gus going up the middle, but they actually leave him unblocked, and what that causes is him to over pursue, and then Likely goes up on Warner. Edwards cuts down back inside. So just really interesting way of doing it. Really making him guess. This was a super interesting play to me because you're leaving their best defensive player unblocked, but it works to get him upfield, but it also has the result of he's seeing all these different looks throughout the game. It's hard for him to prepare snap to snap. So I absolutely love this. Good block by Likely to get enough on Warner and give that time for Gus Edwards. He's had so many of these touchdowns where, he's making contact 1-2 yards out and just being able to fall forward, use his twists, to get into the end zone. So just a beauty there. Now we're going to see a couple of the running back protections they used against him. I thought Justice Hill in pass protection was a dog in this game. So you're going to see they're just going to be lined up, no tight end, 5-man. It's not a 5-man protection. It's going to be a 5-man with a chip from the running back. Play here. So Moses is going to come back, and I love the using inside leverage here, knowing he's got this running back. You've seen in a few videos I've done in the past, I've been really critical of this because I found the tackles were over pursuing too deep, and it was making this running back chip basically worthless, because you want to be able to create that inside leverage, force him outside of the pocket, and then get that chip to allow the tackle to stabilize. So as you can see right there, Hill comes down and absolutely pops him. Now he's forced outside. Moses has a pretty easy rep from there on. Lamar goes for a little scramble there. No one's open. So just really liked how they worked that there. So there's that chip. Boom. Hill goes out into a pattern. So really good work there. And then we're going to see on this side another one with Gus Edwards coming out with Falele. Again, we're seeing him play that inside leverage. I like that a lot. There's that pop from Gus Edwards. Stand him up. And then Falele is able to overtake. And there's that drop from Rashad Bateman. Definition of a concentration drop. Really frustrating. So there we've seen how they've used running back protections. This is where they're going to use a nice little tight end chip, and then the tight end going out into a pattern. So you see likely here, he's going to give a little chip. Again, we got Falele in there. And you see he's going to give him the push there. This motion also helps because it pulls the linebacker and DB, I think that is, and the safety over to that side of Aguilar, and then it opens up the chip release here. And so you see right there, he's going to push off. Falele again plays it narrow because he's pushing him into him. Love the way Falele played that angle, and then likely releases. The linebackers both step back. So instead of continuing the crossing route with the mesh here, you got Zay Flowers coming across. He's going to sit in. And this was right before that, right before one of those touchdowns where he got into, I think it was before the rushing touchdown I just showed, actually. So just love this from Isaiah Likely. But again, just really good work by Falele. Good work using the tight end to chip, putting him out into a pattern, and then the tight end ends up making the catch. Get into the next play here. You got Bosa against Moses. And then, so this was something they did a number of times. So I want you to keep your eyes on number 70. So he is working a double team with Tyler Linderbaum, but his eyes are outside the whole time. And so what he's going to do is Moses is going to play kind of the opposite of what we've been seeing with the running backs. He's going to try and play a little outside leverage, force him back inside, and Zeitler's releasing for the double team. They did this a number of times with the guards, and there's Zeitler coming out, putting him into the ground. So you can see right there, he's got his eyes fixated almost the entire time on Bosa, even though he's working a double team. And that just shows how good the chemistry is between Tyler Linderbaum and Kevin Zeitler. As he spins inside, boom, Zeitler's there to meet him. So just a variety of looks thrown his way. Kept him guessing all game. Everything kind of looked and felt different on a snap-to-snap basis. It was beautiful work by the Ravens. If you guys are fired up about the performance of the offensive line, I'll probably have some more content coming out. But go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.